I'll show you some specific language shifts that can trigger emotion, connection, and conversion. So this is the language shift. Words that convert without feeling salesy, okay? Words shape emotion. Emotion drives decisions. Changing your words changes your income. All right, I'm going to say that again. So words shape emotion. I think we can all agree to that, right? Words shape emotion. Emotion drives decisions. You're all very emotional beings. So think about that when you're thinking about your clients. We're very emotional beings. Changing your words changes your income. Okay. So most CROs lose sales. Most CROs, financial advisors, credit professionals, real estate agents, loan officers. I'm talking about all of us. Okay. We lose sales because these words focus, our words start focusing on logic and not emotion. And it makes sense. There's a lot of logic behind what we do, but that's not the connection that we can't make a connection with the consumer on logic. Now, you will have some clients, prospective clients that are analytical that need a lot of logic, but they first need emotion. Even those people need to connect with the big why before they even want the logic. But some of those will ask for the logic, but that's still where insight comes in because you're still giving some of that, but you're not throwing up on them with it. Okay, if that makes sense. All right. People don't want credit repair. They don't want the 100-point increase. They don't want credit repair. They don't want disputes. They don't want that. Right? Can we be fair and say that out loud? They don't want credit repair. Change your name. You're not credit repair. If you are helping someone get to a big goal and that's your specialty and you've done it over and over successfully again and again and again, credit repair is probably just one ring on the ladder of value that you're providing to them. I go back to I'm a first-time home buyer specialist. There's a lot that goes into being a first-time home buyer specialist. I've talked about this several times. Sometimes they need credit help. Sometimes they need down payment. Sometimes they need home buyer education because they don't know they have to mow their lawn, right? Sometimes they need a loan, right? Sometimes they don't. They got inherited. All these things come into play when I'm a first-time homebuyer specialist. So am I a credit repair specialist? Absolutely 100% no, I'm not. I might do some credit repair work just like a lot of people do or budgeting work, but that's not what I do. I'm a first-time homebuyer specialist. So I want you to really think about that in your field. What are you? It's not credit repair. Because if it's credit repair, you have no audience. You don't have a clear message. You're not going to be able to double your business unless you hustle, 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 lower your prices, hustle, 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 lower your prices, and try to make every sales call and be pushy, pushy, pushy. But if you know who you are and where you can have someone from here and take them here, and you know that works, your message is really clear. You can connect emotionally because you probably went through the same thing. But again, your message is clear. And so this is where this language shift is so very important. Okay, so when you start using future focused language, people can visualize their goal and the decision feels easy. Okay, so I'm going to give you John Doe again, right? Where I'm saying to him, he told me I want to buy a house for my daughter because I'm not feeling like a man. I'm not feeling like a good husband. I'm not feeling like a good father. Can you imagine? Get to the finish line and you buy your first home and you walk into the house with your baby girl in your arms and you walk down that hallway, swing open that door, right? That's what I gave him. I was able to give him future focused language that he could actually see himself walking into that home. Okay, very important. So changing your language is very important. So I'm going to give you some real examples in language shifts. Okay, so old language first, new language second. We'll dispute the negative items on your credit report. Now I'm going to laugh saying that because I know you say it. I know you say that. You got a client and you're like, okay, what are you going to do for me? Oh, we're going to dispute all the negative things on your credit report. All right, new language. We'll create a step-by-step plan to move you closer to your mortgage loan home approval. New language. Old language. Sign up, sign up for our credit repair service. I've seen it. It's on your social media post, right? It's on your buttons on your website. New language. Let's start your home ownership journey together. That's really helping them get to their goal. Old language. We'll fix your credit score. New language. We'll help you build a profile that lenders say yes to. Let's think about that for a second. We'll fix your credit score. I had a guy come in at 750 score. I shared this with a group of people yesterday. Guy comes in with the 750 score, has no negatives on his credit report, right? Am I going to focus on we'll fix your credit score? If that's what I'm saying out loud to everybody that we'll fix your credit score, that's not what he needed. He actually needed to build a profile that lenders say yes to. So now I take that whole thought process that a score is the driver of the approval, which it's not. It's the profile that's the driver to the approval. And I get to change that conversation. So I'm not score based. I don't have to worry about the score going up 100 points in 30 days, right? I can focus on the goal again. Okay. Another one, old. We'll get faster deletions. You'll get faster deletions. New. You'll get faster results that matter, approvals, but not just deletions. Because now I don't have to focus on the fact that I'm going to write the best dispute letter ever and it's going to come off, right? Because that's really not the goal. They think it might be the goal because they've heard it on TikTok that that's the goal. But if you can tell them, hey, we're going to get faster results that actually matter to get you your home loan, it's not just about getting deletions. And maybe we don't even get any deletions, but we are going to get you to your goal. Okay. Or like the guy at the 750, there was nothing to dispute. There was nothing to delete, right? So think of it that way. So notice how the second part, that new language that I said, paints this picture. It's emotional, visual, and purpose driven. So I'm going to give you one more again so you can hear that. So again, notice how the second version I say is going to paint a picture. It's going to be emotional, visual, and purpose driven. So here we go. We'll dispute the negative items on your credit report. New. Watch for it. We'll create a step-by-step plan to move you closer to your home loan approval. Okay. Old. Listen for it. Listen for that. It paints a picture. Okay. Sign up for our credit repair service. Let's start your home ownership journey together. Picture. Now, I immediately, when I said those words out loud, I immediately thought of this journey walking down the sidewalk to a new home. I don't know why I came up with that, but that was the picture in my head, right? We'll fix your credit score. We'll help you build a profile that lenders say yes to. What do I see right away? I hear this emphatic yes to me getting approval, right? Last one, we'll get faster deletions, or you'll get faster deletions. Instead, you'll get faster results that matter, approvals, not just deletions. Okay, do you see that? These small shifts in phrasing instantly elevate how clients perceive you from a service provider to a guide. Okay, we talked about this last week as well. All right, so my action tip for you. Audit your next 3 consultations. Write down every time you mention the word credit or dispute, and then learn to see if you can replace those words with goal, plan, or result. So instead of changing, if you have a script, instead of changing it all, maybe that's the first thing you do is just audit your conversation. So if the script says, we will help fix your credit, maybe you say something, we will help you get to your home loan. Okay, take out the word credit, replace it with goal, plan, or result. See what that does for you. Takeaway quote. When you talk about their dreams, they'll never argue about your price. When you talk to people about their dreams, they'll never argue with the price. I rarely get anyone ask me how much it cost, right? Because they know that I'm going to get them to the goal. So they're ready to sign up, but let's sign up right now before I even mention what the cost is. Okay, so think about that. Consider that. Okay, so we're going to wrap up here and we're going to I hope I gave you enough so you can really start to put this in practice. I'm going to go back over my action tips for you just to make sure that we got them grounded in what I'd like you to invite you to take action on. First one, start your next consultation with, tell me what your end goal is. Tell me what your goal is. Why do you want to do this? Start your next conversation with that. And then the next action that I had for you was use the GAIN method, GAIN, on your next 3 consultations and see how that goes. Take note what happened in those results. How did you feel? I'm going to imagine that you're also going to be feeling better, not just the client, but I think you're going to feel better in this conversation. And then the last action tip that I suggested was audit your next 3 consultations. How many times are you saying credit or dispute, and see if you can replace that with goal, plan, or result. Okay. So, last bit, I'm going to close up. The conversation is the conversion. Change how you talk, and you'll change what you attract. Change how you talk, and you'll change what you attract. And that is in everything in your life, guys. Your thoughts are things as well. I challenge you this week, if it makes sense for you, to audit your next three conversations using the GAIN framework: goal, awareness, insight, and next step forward. Notice how different it feels when you're leading instead of selling. And if you want my personal gain, we talked about this a second ago. If you want my personal gain outline, DM me with the word gain, drop it in the comments, and I'll send it to you. And if you want help applying this for your business, I will provide a link for my 15-minute strategy session that you can get on my calendar for. And you do have to choose the focus. So last week we talked about the shifts, so the clarity shift, the responsibility shift, and the system shift. Those are the three core shifts in any business that you should be looking at all the time in your business. But if you get that link for the strategy call, please tell me which one you would like to focus on, because 15 minutes is not a lot of time, but I want to make sure that I give you a lot of powerful value in that 15 minutes to help you in your business. I do 1 hour, one-on-one, 1 hour consultations where we can sit down and do coaching together. So that's an option too, but we'll do the 15-minute strategy just to see if that's even something that maybe we would invite you to and may not. Okay. And then, of course, we do have the Millionaire's Journey. This is a journey map where I help people if they have a passion, no matter what your business is, credit, finances, whatever it is, from a passion to making $1 million business. And I give you the framework. And then for the next few weeks, we'll also be doing group coaching calls to go over that framework to help you along the way. So feel free to DM if you'd like more information about that group coaching. Next Tuesday, though, this is really important. We're going to talk about frameworks. So today I showed you how you can double your business, and that sounds great until it happens. And if you don't have frameworks and systems and automations and processes and all those things in place, it's not usually sustainable to keep those clients and really take them through the process that you are promising to them. So even though doubling your business sounds like a great next step, I would encourage you to start putting these into practice, but please see me next Tuesday on the live so we can talk about how do we put frameworks in place so that you can be able to double your business, have a life, financial freedom, time freedom, relationship freedom, all those things that you want. And that's why you became an entrepreneur, is to help people, but also for you to have a really great life. I know that's what you want. But oftentimes we become an entrepreneur and we trade our 9 to 5 for a 5 to 9. And hopefully next week I could teach you how to reverse that. I appreciate you. I hope you guys are well, and I look forward to our next call together.